The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good.
Hi, Tom.
How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Edge. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark.
Good morning. I'm Nico DeHaan, and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, natural, wild world.
To recover our natural health, our rights, and our freedoms. I'm Paige Clark, and good morning.
And it's a beautiful day in downtown Clearwater, 71 degrees, partly cloudy. It's going to be pretty warm all week. It looks like in the 70s.
It's kind of tough. You know, we're supposed to be feeling that Christmas spirit, but we're running around in our shorts.
Yeah, the cold front is stalled just north of us, so we're getting the benefit. So come down to Florida, folks. It's beautiful down here.
That's right. We're kind of the only ones out there that are experiencing this kind of weather. But, you know, if you have any questions about our show or things you want to know about health, give us a call at 877-927-6648.
And you can email me at nico@tfnn.com.
And
of
me,
course,
Paige at TFNN.com.
you got any suggestions for the show? Whatever.
Exactly.
Wish us happy holidays.
That's right.
We always like that.
That's right. That's right.
So today we're going to be talking about a little bit about light and what light actually is and how it affects us on a daily basis. And of course, we've talked for many, many years about the sun being the light giver.
Exactly.
The type of light that we need to respond to our immune system so we can be happy human beings.
That is so true. And, you know, it was really funny, Nico, when I sent you some of these this article really jumped out at me. Mm-hmm. The only time I've ever been suspended in Facebook jail, well, I was threatened to be in Facebook jail, was when I posted an article about the dangers of the new light bulbs.
You've been a naughty girl.
And, they just sent me the letter saying, this does not meet the requirements of our posting. It was simply about the fact that in these new bulbs is actually mercury, and if one were to break, you really
talking about the LED bulbs?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, the LED bulbs, the new bulbs. And when I see this, I just think we need to take a close look at really how LED light may not be the sufficient light we're supposed to get.
One thing I noticed when I put my LED lights on my truck for better light, and the white light really does penetrate really deep, and it's not glaring. So for vehicles, which all the new generation of vehicles usually have, the new LED lights, and it really does make driving a lot better. They're virtually indestructible. The lights that I got are lifetime guarantee, guaranteed never to fade and go out. You can run over them with a truck, they won't break. Right. So the hazard, even though the mercury may be in there, at least for the trucks, I don't know about the bulbs in the house, but I wouldn't use LED in the house anyway, and that's what we're going to talk about. Right, and
that's what we're going to talk about. Yeah, how LED light might be compromising your health. And just to give you an idea, near-infrared is important as it primes the cells in your retina for repair and regeneration, which explains why LEDs, which are devoid of infrared, are so harmful for your eyes and health.
Yeah, and it's actually the far infrared is the one that kind of stimulates the repair and maintenance, where the near infrared is more of a healing and detoxing.
I'm such a big fan of full spectrum infrared. That's why I love that sauna that, Robbie's made for Theragood's and Healthy Fit Club. We need the whole spectrum. It's all good stuff. And, I think that it's really important that we're going to kind of highlight a few articles, a few bits of information in this article that we want to highlight. That's actually an interview that was done by Dr. Mercola with a Dr. Alexander Wunsch, a world-class expert on photobiology, and he shares the hidden dangers of light-emitting diodes, LED lights, that most people are completely aware of. And I just think it's important for people to be aware. It's getting very hard to find incandescent light bulbs, isn't it, when you go in the store?
It's getting harder, yeah. In fact, when I went to the store the other day to find get a couple of bulbs for our lava lamp or our salt lamp, I'm looking at all these different types of bulbs for the inside, and they have the curly ones now, they have the incandescent ones, they have the regular ones, and we got a few different stages in between of the LEDs. So it is confusing. What do you use? And then they have all these labels on it that gives you the illumination, but it really...
You just want it to work.
I want it to work. I want it to last a long time. And I remember when we used to get light bulbs free at the lighting place where we paid our electric bill. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
I'm a lot older than you are.
So you would actually get to go pick up light bulbs?
Well, yeah, you could go to the Florida Power, let's say, or and at that time it was like the Michigan, whatever it was, and you used to be able to go there and bring your broken bulbs, and they give you new ones for nothing.
Wow.
So bulbs were given away, I remember, all the way through the 50s and maybe probably 60s and 70s.
And they're actually rather expensive now.
Now they're very expensive. Exactly. The LEDs are very expensive.
Especially halogen bulbs.
Yes.
And they don't last long.
No.
You know, they're really frustrating.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, Dr. McCullough mentioned, and that's why we wanted to spend some time on this, he said he thought it was one of the most important video interviews he's ever done, because it has enormous impact, not only in preventing blindness as you age, but it also has perversive hidden risk factors for sabotaging your health. And again, we have been made to be afraid of light, be afraid of the natural sunlight. And really, when you take a look at, since these fears have been placed in our frame of reference, what has happened to our health? We're just not getting that exposure. So if we're not outside in the natural sunlight with that full spectrum, electromagnetic spectrum, and then we're staying in our houses with these artificial bulbs, and we're not getting full spectrum, what's going on?
And also, when you go to the hardware store or wherever you're going to buy these bulbs, and maybe the drugstore, there is no information about the hazards of the different types of light, how they're going to affect you, where is the best thing to use. But we do have some nice articles here, and I think it's important to go over what you shouldn't be using in your home and what's a good idea to use, and how we want to change the light in our home as the day goes on and goes into night.
Yeah, you know, one of the reasons that we've seen this move towards these LED lights is an unbelievable savings of about 95% of electricity as a result of LEDs.
Uses very, very low power.
As opposed to incandescents. Yes. But we've got to also take a look of, you know, our home is our environment for our health. But there are major downsides to these LED. They're not fully appreciated by most people. You know, lighting may be one of the most important decisions you make in terms of the type of exposure you get for your health. And so we want to help you make those decisions.
So first of all, let's just define what light is. The definition here, definition of light as applied to artificial light sources, is rather distinct. Visible light is only between 400 nanometers and 780 nanometers, but light is actually much more than the eye can perceive, as explained by that doctor.
Dr. Wunsch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, go ahead.
Well, you know, what he says is when we look at sunlight, we have a much broader spectrum range from somewhere between 300 nanometers up to 2,000.
Yeah.
That's when we're in sunlight. For our energy efficiency calculation, it makes a big difference if we're talking about the broad natural range, you know, if we're talking about vision performance. And so physicians think that infrared radiation is just thermal waste. But from the viewpoint of a physician, this is absolutely not true, Dr. McCullough says. The last 30 years, there have been hundreds of scientific papers published on the beneficial aspects of certain parts of the spectrum. So stay tuned. We're going to be taking a short break.
Number here is 877-927-6648. Be right back, folks. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back. Folks, we have a brand new Health Signals newsletter. Last one of the year is out right now. And I want you to, it says issue 1, but I think made a mistake there. Anyway, pick that up. I've got a lot of good articles in here. Also, please pick up our Primal Edge. $89 brings it to your door every single month.
Stay healthy through this holiday season. What
I wanted to do with the light is talk about some of the health benefits of the infrared and what makes near-infrared so special.
What does make near-infrared so special? Because you can't feel near-infrared as heat, and you cannot see it.
Well, you can feel it as heat, but you can't see it.
No, you cannot feel near-infrared as heat,
really?
And you cannot see it. It's the far-infrared that you feel, okay?
Well, my heat lamps are near-infrared.
Well?
And my mat is far-infrared.
Okay.
Both of them are heat.
Well, okay, well, we'll have to ask Dr. McCullough, but it has a major beneficial impact in terms of health. Near-infrared is what's missing in non-thermal artificial light sources like LED. Mm-hmm. So long story short is you really want the full spectrum. Yes. You want both.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between analog and digital forms of light sources, so this can really get complicated, but it's important to start understanding that any time we limit our exposure to the spectrum, we're going to be missing important health benefits.
That makes sense to me.
And while they cannot be seen, the mid and far infrared range can be felt as heat.
So that must be coming from my lamps.
So you have mid, I think you have mid versus near. This does not apply to infrared A, however, which has a wavelength between 700 and 1500. I get confused what he's talking about infrared A, B, and C. For this show, it's probably something they need to read. But, we want to understand that near-infrared is critical for mitochondrial and eye health.
Okay.
And we've seen such an increase in macular degeneration and retinal issues.
And this probably has to do with people staying out of the sun much more because of skin cancers and things like that.
I'm very concerned about that.
Yeah.
Because the near-infrared affects your health in a number of important ways. It primes the cells in the retina for repair and regeneration. And since LEDs have no infrared and an excess of blue light, and we've been talking about using the blue blocker sunglasses,
right.
and And also the blue light that's on our screens.
Yeah.
You know, turning that down.
So the LED is really good white light. It makes everything brighter, but it's really not that great for your health. But with cars, it really...
That might be a short amount of time for the exposure that you have.
Another thing, too, is the LED light makes you... it's a blue light, so it makes you more aware.
More alert.
More alert. So for cars, it's a great thing.
I think that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Now when you see someone coming down the road and you can tell they have the older style headlights.
They're kind of yellowish.
Yeah, they're kind of yellow because of that red tone.
Right.
And when you see someone coming down with
the new LEDs,
they're bright. And that's a very good point.
Yep.
Remember, on your computer screens, which emit a lot of blue light, that's going to be energizing. One of the reasons it may interfere with sleep. However, you can put that feature on your system to give it more of a red light.
Yeah, in fact, all the Apple products have it now. Also, of course, you can turn the screen down a little bit, which many people do. And if you're reading something, you can actually invert it so it's black, and only the light that comes through is what's on the letters themselves.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool. I see my wife doing that at night.
What's it called?
You just black out the screen.
Oh, okay.
You just reverse it.
Reverse the screen.
Reverse the screen, yeah. Right. I don't know what they call it. But
getting back to this light thing about the blue light, this is interesting. The blue light actually stimulates reactive oxygen species, which is actually free radicals.
Right.
And that might make sense as to why when we're constantly looking at blue light, television screens, computer screens, not getting natural sunlight, full spectrum, we're seeing these harmful effects for our eyes and overall health.
And this maybe bring out the blues, the winter blues.
Exactly.
You're getting less of that warm light from the sun.
Exactly. I agree. And so we know that also in addition to the eye health, lighting plays an important role in biological energy production, or ATP, with the mitochondrials. This is why the issue of lighting is so important. It's sorely misunderstood, and specifically it helps us generate mitochondria at the ATP level.
So we're talking about maintenance, repair, and reproduction, both.
And energy of our whole bodies.
Yeah.
Really our energy source of the mitochondria.
So the blue lights that we see, the LED lights that you see, can rob you from that with long exposure to it.
Very good point. So the researcher said in the interview, we now know today that many signs of aging, for example, are the consequences of hampered mitochondrial function. And so we have a very interesting tool to enhance the energy state of our cells, in the mitochondria of our cells, and not only the surface, but also in the depths of our tissue. So this is one of the really important reasons why so much research is being done on the full spectrum infrared light. And you just mentioned your sauna.
Right.
Infrared saunas are another magnificent way to nourish your body with near infrared light.
But not just any infrared sauna. Most offer only far infrared and not the full spectrum. Most also emit dangerous non-native EMFs.
So you need one that emits low or non-native EMFs.
So these things have to be shielded if you're using the ceramics and things like that.
And let me just make a little toad here. He says, after searching for a long time, I finally found a near-perfect one and hope to have it made to my custom specs in a few months. And that's Robbie Vessner, our partner at Theragood. So if you want to learn about this sauna, visit theragoods.com and you can see it. And it should be significantly less than $1,000, and it will be an exciting thing to see that Dr. Mercola is going to be using the sauna that the Healthy Fit group is part of.
Another good thing about this type of light, we're talking about the far and the near and the mid-range of the infrared. These beneficial effects can be seen in wound healing, anti-aging procedures where near infrared is employed. So that's a really good thing. This means
near infrared is down at the end of the infrared spectrum, which means it's right there near the visible red light, and that's why you see, and there's some red light that doesn't actually have so it's like a continuum.
Yeah.
But red light itself also is very powerful, even before it has the near infrared. So, I mean, that's a powerful thing, to realize that we can actually stimulate and reboot our energy systems by getting proper access to the right kinds of light.
That's why I feel so good when I get out of that sauna.
Yeah. How long do you sit in it?
Usually 30 to 40 minutes.
Right.
I usually heat it up for about 15-20 minutes and drink some water before I go in, and then I just sit there, usually listening to a podcast or some kind of listening to YouTube. And the time goes very fast. Of course, I got the lamps in front of me, so what happens, I got a little timer that goes off every 5 minutes so I can
And you got a little stool, don't you?
Stool. I twirl in the stool.
Yeah, if those of you who haven't seen it, Nico's turned his extra bathroom tub and shower. He's hanging the lights from the shower head, And then
it's actually the opposite. It's from the railing.
Oh, from the railing.
Yeah.
Okay, so but bottom line is you're hanging the lights in there, and you've got a stool in there.
Yeah, it's a real no-brainer because it's only $500 for the whole package. I mean, that includes the shower curtains and the stool, everything. So it was really a good deal.
And it's portable.
And it's portable if you wanted to take it, which I'm not going to do. It's not that portable, but it is portable.
Well, what I mean is if you move, easy to move.
Yeah. So I think when we come back, let's talk about the analog versus the digital lighting and see how that affects us.
I'm not real familiar with that, so that'll be fun to explore and learn how
everything's,
LED lights are a form of digital non-thermal lighting, whereas incandescent light bulbs and halogens are analog thermal lighting. So it goes back to kind of comparing our phones, analog and digital transmission.
Yeah, everything's changing to digital. And,
light and sound are all tied together.
Is it good for us or not?
Right. So
folks,
stay tuned.
If you go to the TFNN.com website, you'll find under Primal Living here the back sequence. This is a
full back
stretching
sequence.
And really important that you do this, especially if you're trading, sitting in a chair all day. This is the way to do it.
So take a break and get that back a stretch.
And the number here is 877-927-6648.
Be right back.
We'd like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
The holiday season is here, and TFNN Salvation Army Tiger Dollar Special is back. Right now, you can get a 25% bonus on your purchase, and 10% of whatever you spend will be donated in your name to the Salvation Army. The sale only comes around once a year, so don't miss out. Tiger Dollars are a great way to add extra savings to TFNN newsletters or services, and they never expire. Get your Tiger Dollars before the sale ends Thursday, December 22nd, and get your 25% bonus while donating 10% of your purchase to the Salvation Army. For all the details, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to Living a Primal Lifestyle. We're talking about the power of light, power of sunlight, power of natural light and infrared. We were just starting this little section on the difference between analog versus digital lighting, and I think this is interesting.
We're in the digital age, so everything's going digital here. Understanding how LEDs can harm your health begins with the recognition that light emitted from an LED bulb is a different quality than natural light source. Normally, a natural light source is a black body radiator that gives off all kinds of wavelength in a more or less continuous manner. LED are fluorescent lights consisting of a blue LED and a driver LED, and a fluorescent sheet that covers the blue LED, transforming part of the blue light into a longer wavelength, thereby creating a yellowish light. The yellowish light from the fluorescent layer combines together with the residual blue light to a kind of whitish light, a large portion of which is an aggressive blue light. So that's the kind of flicker that you see. We can't see it with our naked eye.
But that's why they bother us.
That's, yeah. Remember the old TVs? Back in the old days, they used to flicker.
No, I'm not that old, remember?
A good one.
Girl, you know, like we just said before the break, blue has the highest energy in the visible part of the spectrum and produces and infuses reactive oxygen species or oxidative stress. So it just really is not good for us. I'm sitting here, right here, we got these blue-white light screens facing us right now.
That's why we're so irritated all the time.
So, you know, this reactive oxygen species, you know, irritates our tissues, and the stress needs to be balanced. Now, like we said, the blue light is also what wakes us up in the morning. The bluer hues.
Right.
So it's not that it's not important. We just don't need it 24/7 like what's happening to us, you know. And what we really need is more generation. What we need more than regeneration from blue light is the regenerative part of the spectrum that is not found in blue, in the short wavelength part. It's found in the long wavelength part too, in the red and the near infrared. So tissue regeneration and tissue repair results from the wavelengths that are not present in the LED spectrum.
Yeah. So if you have a lighting expert come to your home, I wonder how many of these lighting experts have any knowledge in what lighting health is. You know, so we want somebody like a decorator to come in and place lights in different spots, but now we have to think about our health too, and what type of light do we want at what time of the day. You know, so it can get confusing inside, but of course we have the ability down here in Florida to open up the house, let natural light in, and that solves a lot of problems.
So here's some tips here. You know, you probably know that we've been talking about the blue light reduces your ability to produce melatonin in the evening,
right? And
this affects your sleep. But you also have cells in your retina that are responsible for producing this melatonin in order to regenerate the retina at night. So if you use your LED lights after sunset, you reduce the regenerative and restorative capacity of your eyes. So if you don't have enough regeneration of your eyes, you end up with degeneration. And this can lead to, you know, macular degeneration. And I think it's something like 70% of people over the age of 70. So I know you're over, well, you know, you're somewhere in the, you're 72. You're 72 years old. And getting this light is important to keep your eyes healthy. So I'm glad that you're getting that sauna time every day. So
if you use LED lights after sunset, you can reduce the regenerative and restoring capabilities of your eyes. Needless to say, with less degenerations, you end up with degeneration. With less regeneration, you end up with degeneration.
Yeah,
so in this case, the degeneration can lead to AMD, which is the primary cause of blindness among the elderly. However, this is that most fail to appreciate the LED light exposure that is not balanced with the full sunlight load. Boy, this gets confusing here. I can hardly read it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's better to just kind of let's hit some bullet points a little bit to kind of help people. How can you give you some tips right now, because one of these big insults is how to make the digital screens healthier.
Okay.
You know, we've just talked about the fact that we need to work on using as many programs that are easily and freely available to us to change that lighting spectrum, you know. And
one thing you're starting to see in the LED is different changes in the type of light, how much it emits white, how much it emits the blue and the red going in there. So the good thing with the LED, because of the way that it's made, you can actually change the spectrum of the light while within that bulb. So you can have different bulbs for different purposes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are using that program Flux to change things.
Yes.
But he says, Dr. McCullough is saying he has a great surprise that he has found a far better alternative that was created by Daniel, a 22-year-old Bulgarian programmer that Ben Grenfield introduced him to. He is one of the rare people that already knew most of the information that was in this article. So he was using Flux, but was frustrated with the controls. He attempted to contact them, but they never got back with him. So he created a massively superior alternative called Iris. Yeah. It is free, but you'll want to pay the $2 and reward Daniel with a donation. You can purchase the $2 Iris software, online, and another one is OLED screen technology is another development that may be better than conventional screens. So there's even superior products. Yeah. And I'm going to really try that Iris thing. I'm going to download it and see if it enhances over what Apple gives us.
Yeah, it may be. I don't know. So how to identify a healthier LED? So when buying LEDs, one way to get a healthier look is to look at the CRI. Sunlight is the gold standard and it has a CRI of 100. So do incandescent light bulbs and candles. What we're looking for in the light is an R9, full red spectrum, CRI of 97, which is the closest you'll ever get to natural light with an LED. Another factor to look at is the color temperature. There are two different kinds of color temperatures. There's the physically color temperature and there's a correlated color temperature.
Right, right. Well, I think the key thing is that one of the things is if we can avoid buying LED lights. I know that they give us an energy savings, but when they're exposed to our bodies and we're in our homes, try and look for things that give you full spectrum. And I wish that we'll find a return to that. I mean, they're actually saying that they're going to be illegal, right, to buy incandescent bulbs. Yeah, it's very obvious.
By 2019
it's ridiculous, though. That's just around the corner, so we've got to find some other solutions.
So the physical color temperature, which means the temperature of your light is in degrees Kelvin. This applies to sunlight, candlelight, incandescent light, and halogens, which means that the source itself is as hot to the touch as the temperature that's given, the color temperature.
Right, right.
So, and then the correlated color temperature, this is a measurement that tells you how light source appears to the human eye. In other words, it is comparative measurement. A correlated color temperature of 2700 K means it looks the same as natural light. So they're changing these bulbs and going to be able to, in the future, giving you exactly what you want, even though it may be LED.
Right. So it does sound that way. It sounds like these are things that we can look at, because I think we can be greatly confused when we go to the store to buy lighting and we want to try and get healthier light fixtures in there.
Another thing, he says a simpler way to purchase a flicker detection, which are available fairly inexpensively. Another way to determine the flicker rate is to use a slow motion mode on your camera, and you can record that light and see it. However, it doesn't always work. So we're going to talk about some healthier solutions
when we get back from the break, so stay tuned.
We'll be right back, folks.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back to Living a Primal Lifestyle, folks, with Nico and Paige here, and we got Tom from Tampa on the line. Hey, Tom, how you doing today?
Hey, Nico, Paige, how's it going?
What's happening with you? Happy holidays, Tom.
Hey, one quick note, a good substitute for those chocolate-covered cherries, which everybody seems to devour on around Christmas time, or some dark chocolate-covered almonds.
Hey, there you go. Good tip.
Just wanted to throw that in.
Thanks.
Hey, is there any validity to 4 drops of iodine, 150 milligrams a day? Is there any validity to that being pretty good for you?
Oh, well, you're talking to the iodine girl. I love iodine, and
really?
And
okay.
if you want to look at the studies, even at that dosage, you know, you're still way under what the amount that the Japanese longest-lived, healthiest people do. The average for the Japanese is 12.5 milligrams. So 4 drops at 150, you're getting 600 micrograms. And that's a great starting point, if you ask me. I have, I get iodine that has a chain of custody that tells me where it comes from. It's, I think, the purest on the planet. And it has 400 micrograms per drop. So after you use yours up, you know who to call.
Okay.
But no, it's good for you.
Okay, cool.
Now, if you have any detox symptoms, Tom, when you start using iodine, you're starting to put, your body heals from the top down, inside out. And one of the first places that people see when they start using iodine is a little they seem like they're sinus congested. That's because we're clearing out a lot of congestion that's happening there, and we're pushing out the other halogens, which are like bromide and chlorine and fluoride. Those names ring a bell. Okay. You know, those chemicals take up the same receptor site as iodine. The goal is to push those out and saturate yourself with iodine, and that's why I do an iodine saturation protocol.
Okay, so you just throw it in with a liquid, like in a glass of water or whatever in the morning, or kombucha and some XM.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'd like you to do is just while you're fixing the other stuff, add your iodine to clean water and just do it by itself. Just take it. It's going to taste like pool water because it's in the halogen family. It has that kind of taste. But just do a shot of it in the morning before you go to bed. Then next thing is add one right before you go to bed in the morning, and then add it before you go to bed as you start to increase your dosage. And you know I'll help you with that. I believe iodine sufficiency is one of the most important things we can do today. As our exposure to radiation.
I was looking at the newsletter. I never thought about it. I know there's a big difference between bee wax and bee honey. You know, I just never really thought about it. I guess you think of, the bee wax. I think of bee honey almost. You know, I didn't know
Yeah, the wax and the honey is different, and of course...
and the propolis, which is the lining, which really builds our mucous membranes, and I use that as a essential oil on my skin, and I have propolis lozenges that I give people when they say their throat feels bad. Yep. See, our newsletter is just a wealth of information, isn't it, Tom?
It is, man. It is, totally. No, I mean, it is, no doubt. No, it's awesome. I peel through that thing daily, man.
Thanks. Hey, thanks a lot for calling, Tom. Appreciate it.
Hey, you bet, man. You guys have a great Christmas.
Thanks.
You too, sweetie.
Happy holidays. So one of the things I noticed with the light bulbs is, we used to, like I said, go to the lighting place and get free light bulbs. But in the last few years, as LEDs came out, it seems like these things were not lasting as long. And that got me to thinking, well, that original bulb that was in the museum, the world's oldest light bulb, is still burning after 109 years.
Well, how about that, guys? Did you hear that? The world's oldest light bulb is still burning after 109 years. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, and then why don't we have these light bulbs?
Right. If we think that we're improving on things, how can you improve? And this was an incandescent bulb with a filament.
With a filament,
right?
Yeah.
So just getting back to our article, if we want to, I want to just kind of end this with a little bit about, Dr. McCullough in this article, actually made some comments about his own experiences with light. And he said he likes being on the cutting edge of technology, and he quickly switched all of his incandescent bulbs out when LEDs came out. And he says, I now realize the enormity of my mistake.
Big problem.
But at the time, going back almost 10 years now, I was completely unaware, he says, that I could have had health consequences. Before that, he always used full-spectrum fluorescent bulbs, which is equally deceptive as it is full-spectrum in name only. So, we don't have that whole thing. He's now convinced that LED light exposure is a very serious danger, especially if you're in a room without natural light. And the biological risks are somewhat mitigating if you have plenty of sunlight streaming through the windows. So never discount that ability to get beautiful natural light into your home.
He says, if you read in the evening, my personal favorite light source for reading is a low-voltage incandescent halogen bulb, which is operated on a DC transformer. Direct current will eliminate all the dirty electricity, and it will eliminate the flicker. So if you're using it with a battery instead of electricity, because the electricity has the alternating current.
That's exactly right. DC current is what's healing. We are DC current beings.
Right. Yeah.
We are actually direct current.
Yeah, and I have a friend of mine, Lucian McDonald, who lives in Orlando, and when he reads, he turns the candles on. He says it's much more resting for his eyes. He told me this years ago, so he's way ahead of the curve.
Oh, and think about that. That's a great idea. We've lost the art of the candle. Maybe bringing the candle back is a great idea.
Up here on the telestrator, I've got a different wavelength for the different types of bulbs. And you can see the white LEDs are way up here. Fluorescents are up there. Incandescents, however, drops it down here.
And then the incandescent is the brown line that's kind of on a continuous curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, going up, in terms of the wavelengths, right? Yeah. So I think really we've got to start, paying attention, to our lighting source, and to protect our health and our vision, try to stick to incandescent lights. We know that these are sabotaging our health, but are otherwise useful technology. However, with knowledge, we can prevent the harm from happening. So we really need to limit the exposure to blue light, both during the daytime and at night. So for nighttime, you swap out your LEDs for clear bulb incandescents or low-voltage incandescent halogen lights that are run on a DC power. So can't you buy these little, hunting lamps is that what he means?
I think so.
I mean, is that what he's saying? Maybe get a lamp, one of those hunting lamps that has the battery in it, and put a bulb in there. Is that what he means?
Yeah, in fact, I just bought one of those for our trips.
Right.
So for in the car, you can have a nice bright white light, but you can actually change the colors of it too.
Right. Then see, there you go. And he also strongly recommends using blue blocker glasses after sundown. I bought some swastika ones, the really hot-looking ones. I bought them at the Bulletproof Conference.
Swatch types?
Yeah, Swatch, I'm Stanwich or something. It's the guy who produced them. They're really nice looking. Even if you use incandescent light bulbs, you still want to use these glasses, by the way. So it's kind of nice to have these blue blocker, pretty rose-colored glasses. You know, everyone in the family kind of wearing those after sundown. That really helps to remove the excessive LEDs and electronics screens that are producing these reactive oxygen species, so you can produce good melatonin and get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, another healthy alternative is candles are a better light source than incandescent bulbs. There's no electricity involved in the light that our ancestors used for many millennia, so our bodies are adapted to it.
Hey, maybe it's a great idea to get a good kerosene lamp and then light that wick, you know?
Yeah, but the kerosene may be a little pollution there.
Well,
anyway, we'll be right back, folks.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors. Join John Logan as he teaches you trading techniques utilizing the TAS Profile Scanner. The Global Market Pulse, next on TFNN.
And welcome back. On Telestrator here, we have a nice chart that shows you the different lights.
Chart.
Yeah, the daylight. You can see how broad and wide the spectrum is in the daylight.
Right.
Incandescent light, it gives you more of that red, warm light, less of the blue. Fluorescent gives you just
fluorescent just doesn't look like it's giving us anything we need.
Yeah, really, that's for sure.
Halogen kind of mimics the incandescent a little bit more.
Cool LED, and then the warm white LED.
The common is, while they may look the same to the naked eye, there's no comparison when it comes to their actual light qualities, specifically when we're talking about the incandescent put your arrow on that one, the incandescent one, and the warm LED down on the very bottom. No, the other way. Yeah. So see, Pete, they're trying to mimic the warmth of the incandescent, but they just don't have the right wavelength.
Not yet, but I think they'll get to it because they're really experimenting along with it. Of course, candles probably are more from the green on without any blue whatsoever.
Right.
Very, very soft lighting, so that gives you...
And we'll go over those things, but this brings me back to your comment that you brought up about the oldest incandescent bulb that's still burning. I guess it's Edison's or something.
Yeah.
There's, after 109 years. I mean, if they last this long, why don't we stick with those?
Well, we've...
because of the electricity cost, I know.
Well, it's not that so much. It's that we want to have things cycle. We can't have people stop buying things. That's what our economy is all about.
Exactly.
If we stop buying things, so that's why things are made that way. But with candles, you have to make sure. The only problem is that you need to be very careful using the same old candles because they get more toxic as they burn.
It actually says that candles are even a better light source than incandescent bulbs, as there is no electricity involved, and it's the light that our ancestors have used for millennia.
Yeah.
So our bodies are already adapted to it.
Exactly.
But, that's a really great point about the toxicity of them.
Yeah.
You ever walk into people's houses that are burning a ton of candles and you can just smell the artificial fragrance and the smoke when they blow them out?
Especially paraffin candles. So you really have to be careful.
They actually have a lot of carcinogens in them.
They can have, they're petroleum-based, so that's not too good. But there are really good ones. You can use soy candles, which are non-GMO, and they're not toxic at all. So that's a good thing to use soy. There are 100% natural and biodegradable kind of kosher candles, too. So, when you go to the candle store, you start asking questions whether they're toxic or not, because that's a huge thing. And I think as we go through, our manufacturing gets better and better with the LEDs, we're going to find out that, the conscious people that are making these things are going to try to get into the spectrum here with these lights.
Yeah, Dr. Mercola mentions a real nice little outfit called Circle of Life Farms that makes a nice candle. And he says he earns no commissions on them, but he thought he might, we might all benefit from knowing that that's a good quality candle.
CircleOfLifeFarms.com.
Yes, makes a nice quality soy candle. But anyways,
I thought I'd shut this thing off, but apparently not.
You've got an incoming transmission from an alien.
So why is it? Oh, well.
But anyways,
can't do
folks,
everything right, folks.
We are light. Our bodies are light, and we've got to get light that's compatible to keeping us healthy. And I say that I like the idea of the candle. That sort of is appealing to me. It makes me. I mentioned to you right before the break. I remember we had kerosene lanterns, which you're right, but they were in like glass. They had like a glass globe over them. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
They burn a long time, but I like the idea
that they smell.
The soy candles, perhaps in addition to your salt lamps that you've gotten the idea that we like you to have in your house for their warm light. Maybe we need to start spreading some candles around and add that ambience.
Let me ask you the ultimate question: do you go towards the light or away from the light?
Oh, that's a question for a show. You guys will have to stay on board.
Thanks for sticking around, folks. So we'll be back for the next show, and have a great week.
Take care.
Bye.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.